thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. We're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. But if you're a member of the 1/6 scale community, something that you're probably actually fairly familiar with. Now, through almost every collectible market, the idea of customizing your figures is a bit of an underground aspect of collecting action figures. And that's no different amongst 1/6 scale fans. And one of the go-to bodies for customizing figures is from a company known as PHICEN. What they provide you are super flexible, seamless bodies, which is what we're looking at today. Specifically speaking, the very popular M34 body type, which for all intent and purposes is essentially designed to look like the body of a younger Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you'll see what I mean here in a little bit. For the package, though, very simple. You got the just super flexible text right there. On each letter, you can see a slightly different pose. And then on the back, you got that image as well. You got the PHICEN logo right down there. And it says super flexible male seamless body for 1/6 scale figures featuring 28 points of articulation and a suntan color skin tone. It also does mention that the head sculpt is not included. So this is just the body. On the side of the package, you got a few more images of kind of some of the poses that you can create for them. Same on the opposite side. And then on the back, you basically just got that same super flexible text right there. That's just kind of an opposite color of what we have here in the front. But for the packaging on this, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get this out here and see how cool it actually is. Now, first thing that I want to do is go over this little bit of a user manual that you have. Basically, it goes over all the different points of articulation, what you can and what you can't do, and then really goes into fine detail on how to actually articulate the figure. It's actually really very impressive, but the most important piece is here on the kind of front of it. And I want to basically read this to you. It says, succeeding the great popularity of our female seamless figure bodies with stainless steel skeleton, dear clients, we proudly present you the male counterparts. Now, basically, PHICEN really did get a lot of their kind of popularity due to, yes, naked female bodies that obviously could be used for a lot of different custom figures. The male seamless body is fairly new, as it indicates. The internal skeleton armature is made of durable stainless steel to withstand playability without being easily damaged or corrupted. Each armature have 28 points of articulation using ball-jointed system for maximum flexibility and movement. Each joint is designed to move freely and consistently with 90% accurate human movement. With the slightest effort, the bodies are capable of making countless dynamic poses to imitate any posture of any character. The steel metal armature is wrapped with a non-toxic, environmentally friendly, medical-grade material specifically developed for PHICEN bodies. The material features durable anti-cracking qualities that are easy to clean, but not easy to stain or dye. In addition, the skin texture is designed to deliver a tactile experience of real skin. While built for playability, this PHICEN seamless figure body is not a toy. It is a sophisticated 1/6 scale model designed to realistically simulate the human form using superior materials and quality execution. Anatomically correct, though, it is not designed to be a sex toy. More models coming, so stay tuned, please. And we'll get to that last sentence here in a little bit. So what I wanted to basically touch on is the fact that this is designed to seamlessly pull off, like they were saying, any posture that you would really want, given is essentially a 90% accurate human look when it comes to actually posing your figure. Now, specifically for this one, a lot of people are using this for a couple different ones. It seems primarily they're using it for custom Bane figures, as the original Hot Toys one just wasn't as bulky as he really did appear in the film. The muscular body here really does help to kind of fill that character out. My particular desire for it is to create the entry scene for the Terminator from the Terminator films, which, yes, basically meant that I wanted a naked Arnold Schwarzenegger. As I said, it's going to be a weird review. Now, in addition to the body, obviously, you do get a couple different pairs of hands. As you can see, he's got fisted hands on him right now. He's got a pair of kind of gripping hands. You can see that the skin tone here is what they call suntan, which works pretty good. If you're familiar with the female bodies, they had a wide range. They had like pale, they had suntan, they had super tan. They have different bust sizes. So if you wanted a female character with a smaller bust, you can get that for your custom figure. Or if you wanted one with a larger bust, you could get that as well. For the M34, it's specifically designed to give you a more muscular look. Now they have some other ones that are not as muscular, maybe a little bit more lean if you don't want to have a really buff figure. It all depends on what you want, and PHICEN really does have a lot of different ones that you can use for your custom figures. You also do get a pair of relaxed hands, though, which are pretty nice. Well, it's a little bit more than relaxed. I mean, you got one that's kind of relaxed and one's a little bit more kind of open, but still fairly relaxed. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to be naked. He does come with some clothes. I just didn't put them on because, like I said, I want to create that a rival for the Terminator thing, but he does come with a pair of chonies. As you can see, they're a little bit elastic, so you just put that like right there, which looks a little bit better. These ones here, what are these? These look like elbow pads, I think, so you could have elbow pads on them and then maybe like some wrist pads or something, or maybe these are meant to be like knee pads. I have no idea, but you do get some clothes that you can put on them. And they were talking about anatomically correct. Now, I am not going to take these out of the package because leaving them in the package, it gives it a little bit of a blurry kind of look, and I don't want to go too much into it. But he does come with, since this is designed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, he comes with a couple Schwartzes, I guess you could say. You have a happy Schwartz, and you have one that's not as happy. I'm going to leave them, like I said, in here because it gives it a little bit blurry of an effect, and I don't want to have to blur the image out. But you do get those for anatomically correct. Now, some custom figure makers would like to have this as it can kind of fill out the pants a little bit more. Obviously for me, I'm not going to use these for my purposes, but they are there for you if you need them. Now, taking a look at the figure itself, one thing that really did impress me is the actual weight of it. It is a fairly heavy figure, and coming up so we can get everything in the frame, it is a fairly heavy figure. It's like this is a silicon rubber. Now, they talk about how this is designed to be very durable and have an anti-cracking quality. I'm going to test that out. It does seem like my rubber figures and things that have rubber in my collection do tend to get a little bit dried out here living in California, so I'm very curious. There's his butt. I am very curious to know how this is going to hold up over time. When you do get it, there is a little bit of a kind of powder over it, like a baby powder of sorts. Maybe that is on there to help you slide some clothes on. So I would say that if you're going to try and dress him, you probably do want to put some like baby powder to kind of soften this up. And there's a little cat hair on there. But the baby powder would probably make it easier so you could slide clothes on him. Obviously, if you do want to anatomically correct him, you would have to glue his anatomy into place. It doesn't have like a Velcro piece or anything on there or any kind of adhesive or anything of that nature, so you would have to glue that on. But so I don't know if that would damage it over time, but it is fairly heavy, and like I said, it is silicon, and I think it is. I have no idea. And they talk about how it is designed to feel like real skin, and it does. I mean, one thing I'm noticing though is it does feel like when I'm squeezing, I feel like there's a gap between the actual skin and the metal skeleton underneath it in some areas. Like right here, I kind of feel it in his chest. I kind of can feel it here in the leg area, like around here. But I mean, it is really cool how it actually feels. It's kind of disturbing to a degree, but you can just see how great the musculature is. I mean, very large arms. You can see some nice detailing with the veins. You have his abs, and you got like more veins around there. Good detail with what would essentially be bones underneath here, but obviously not bone. And then you can see some nice detail with like his obliques and everything. Even on the the underside here, good detail with the bicep and the tricep and everything. Come down to the thighs, again, nice striation there. You got the veins going throughout there. You come around to the back and you can see, well, more kind of like right here with the veins in his calf area, which is cool. Obviously, you got his butt right there, and then nice striation with his back muscles and everything like that. That's kind of weird looking, to be totally honest. That little dot, I don't know, I understand that. But really great detail throughout the entire thing, and like I said, very weird how it actually feels. As I talked about, it does feature 28 points of articulation. There's a lot on it. Now, obviously, it doesn't come with a head. I'm going to use an Arnold Schwarzenegger head. Unfortunately, the only one that I have that's not really battle damaged that has the socket section is the one from Genesis. So I'm going to put it on there. It looks okay. It's a little bit big, I would probably say. I don't think it's too terribly bad, and like I said, I'm going to have it where he's like crunched over and everything, so it's not too terribly bad. But giving you an idea, he does basically have that ball joint there, so you can rotate that around and everything. He does have a lower neck joint right down here, so you can flex that forward and back. It can also go side to side. The shoulders here, they actually do, I mean, like there's a armpit joint, so you can move it forward and back, and you can feel it moving. I mean, that's really quite amazing. It goes in and out, it rotates very nicely. You can bring it around. Now, one thing that I would say is that as you bring this in, it does have to be rotated a little bit. So the skin, you kind of need to stretch it a little to get, like if you wanted to do like a bisect pose like that. I mean, it doesn't look as natural. I mean, obviously you can't completely bring that up like that, but you can get it looking fairly close. He does have, it feels like a double jointed elbow. I mean, you can see you get a great range of motion there, and as you bring it in, it just moves everything and goes along with it. So I mean, that is a cool sort of look for it. Now, they do talk about how you do want to be careful when you're manipulating it, and like I said, really, if you've never used a PHICEN body, make sure you go over this, because it will tell you exactly what to do. Like, for example, right here, they tell you not to bring this all the way in and not to push too much, because that can make this actually snap, and then the metal structure underneath would make it stab through the rubber body or whatever. Same kind of thing down here with the legs. So he does also have an ab crunch. You can move it forward and back, side to side. I mean, almost like I said, any pose that you could really want, you can absolutely do. Hips move in and out. They move, if I get it done right, it moves forward and back very nicely. You do have to, as you're doing it, kind of know what you're doing, because you don't want the skeletal structure underneath to get too messed up. Bringing that back down, he does have a fairly good range of motion here in the knee. Let's see, he does hands up here as well as the feet are separate, so you can remove those, as I was talking about. But I mean, as I said, 28 points of articulation. This guy is loaded with posing options and things of that nature. Now, for me, like I said, I want to have a pose where he's going to be severely crunched to look like he's arriving in Terminator. So getting this in there, and again, because it doesn't matter really in terms of the head, I'm just going to crunch that down. You bring this up like so. You bring these arms down. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are doing poses very similar to this with their figures, you know, where you would do something like that. Now, unfortunately, because the way that the feet are, you can't really get that great of a pose with the feet that he currently has. So what I did do, and this is just something for me, I went online and I bought 1/6 scale posable feet where it has like a bend in here, and I actually glued them to these little stand pieces. So what I do is just pull this whole foot off just like that. Excuse me, I do have a cold and my cough has not gone away yet. So I do this, pop those off, and then pop those on like so. So again, I am going to pop his head off. Sorry, Arnold. This is the Terminator. How are you? Good morning, Detective John Kimball. Tell me, who's your daddy and what does he do? So I'm going to go like this, and then I have it like that to give a little bit of a stability to it. And like I said, I put these little plastic pieces on there just to kind of help with the actual overall, I guess, balance, because he doesn't balance all that great on just one foot. So getting that there, so something like that. Now obviously you gotta crunch them down a little bit more to get that. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. So this is my display. This is what I wanted this figure for, and again, I'm trying to balance it here so that you can see it, but this is what I wanted for my personal display. I think that that's cool. I love the Terminator, and this is the look that I was hoping to go with. Now obviously you can only really create this successfully if you have feet like this. You can buy them. I found them on eBay. I want to say they were like $5 or something. They were not very expensive, but it does take some finagling and some patience to balance this and get it just right. And that's kind of spreading. There you go. So let me see. I'm just fighting with this to get it to work, and one of the problems is my table here is rounded, so it's not helping very much, but you can see essentially what I'm going for. That's the look that I wanted, and this is the figure that I wanted to pull this off. I think this is cool looking. I really do like it. It's an iconic part in the film. For me, I think it's one of the cooler aspects of the movie. Yes, he was naked in it, and that's why you kind of need to have a naked body to be able to do it. And like I said, because this is the pose I'm going for, I don't need to have these pieces on him because that looks perfectly fine. I really do like it. Like I said, a lot of people are using this for other figures such as Bane and any other very muscular figures. As I talked about, there are a lot of other figures that they do have that you don't have to have as muscular of a body. You can have a little bit more lean of one. So depending on the custom figure that you want to recreate, those options are available for you. And like I said, not just male bodies. If you wanted to create female bodies, you can do that as well. I just, like I said, think that this is really very, very cool. And I know a lot of collectors really utilize these bodies. When you look at things like Hot Toys, this is the company that a lot of people look to say, why can't Hot Toys create seamless bodies? I mean, obviously this kind of technology exists, so what's the problem? What's the holdup with like official companies using this kind of stuff? So it's definitely a curious sort of situation, but I mean, for me, I'm glad that these exist. I think that they're very usable. The quality is fantastic on them. And if you are going to be creating your own custom figure, these are absolutely without question the best bodies to use for them. So if this is something that you'd be interested in picking up, they are available right now at kghobby.com. Prices on the different body types and such vary, but for the M34 here, it's only $70. So really good price on it. So if you'd like to pick them up, all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to kghobby.com where you can check out availability on this as well as the rest of the wide range of collectible figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, be sure to click on that little bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.